In the middle of the space-centered bombing trial, we had another bombing incident. This one destroyed courtroom number 4. Furthermore, Apollo suffered massive injuries from being there when the bomb went off. Unfortunately, Juniper Woods was fingered as the courtroom bomber. Can we stop saying fingered? Just say accused? Please? Athena and I knew she had to be innocent, so we took her case on. Yo, VTuber reference? Case on? We managed to clear Miss Woods' name. But Paula sustained further injuries when he was attacked by Ted Tonade. Yo, and now we're back home! With the plastic spaghetti! Right, anything, agency. Paula's a tough guy, but this is taking its toll on him. Yeah, poor guy. Being attacked by Ted Tonade like that on top of all of his other injuries. Apollo was resting at the nearby Hickfield Clinic. I've had some experience with that place myself. What an awful turn of events. I never thought he'd land in such a hospital. In a hospital of all places. You must miss him too, huh? Now that you don't have anybody else to tease. Don't worry, he's young. He'll heal quickly at the and be back before you know it. It's been a while since I last saw Trucy's look so down. We won the court case, and nobody feels much like celebrating. All right! Enough of this, people! This is no time to be moping around. Now, dry those eyes, both of you! You're the only one who's crying, Athena. Technicalities! Look, we have work to do. We have to take over! Take over what, exactly? Apollo's Space Center case, of course. As no verdict's been reached, there's still a chance. I agree with Athena. We should pick up Mr. Starbuck's defense. We have to avenge our fallen comrade. Right, Daddy? Apollo hasn't exactly fallen. He's still alive, you know. Good. Now that that's settled, let's get going. Come on, we gotta run. Wait, right now? We'd better not be running the whole way. There she goes. I better catch up. Can you take care of the office, Trucy? Sure thing, Daddy. Let's be careful out there. In the meantime, I'm gonna bake some cookies and fill up my magic panties for you. Trucy seems to be feeling a little better. I can always count on Athena to perk everybody up with her enthusiasm. Oh, she's back. Don't mind me, just forgot a few things. Wallet, phone, documents, my bag. This sounds more like you forgot everything. I can always count on Athena for that too. Alright, you two. Let's be careful out there. "19th Detention Center. Visitors room." So our client is one Solomon Starbuck. He's so famous even I've heard of him. That's right! He's a super famous astronaut who works at the Cosmos Space Center. He was actually up in outer space 7 years ago. 7 years ago. You seem to know quite a lot about him. Quite a bit about him. Now I'm all excited to meet the man. Now I'm all excited to meet the man. Holy shit, I am stuttering and stumbling and that's me too. Wow, that was the longest sigh I've ever heard. Paula told me all about you. You're Phoenix Wright, Paula's mentor, right? Yes, That's right. Huh. Enter has a nice ring to it. Don't worry about a thing, Mr. Starbuck. Mr. Wright and I have got you covered. And you're the new kid that Apollo told me about? Wait, don't I know you from somewhere? Huh? You mean other than at your trial? I don't think so. I guess so. My mistake. My memory isn't what it used to be. My mind and body are kaput. Same goes for my life. I mean, I'm so astronomically unlucky that I had a bomb go off in the middle of my trial. Trying to defend me would be like trying to enter the stratosphere without a spacecraft. Yikes! He has seriously got to stop depressing himself. Cheer up, Mr. Starbuck. Besides, that thing you said about entering the stratosphere? That just means we'd shine like shooting stars, right? Like shooting stars, huh? You know, you're right. Why didn't I think of that? After all, that's what... okay. After all, that's what we were all put on this earth to do, right? To shine like stars. I guess I shouldn't mention the fact that shooting stars burn out in a flash. Oh yeah, here we go! 3, 2, 1! To the stratosphere and beyond! Yeah, I feel alive now. You can go ahead and ask me anything you want. Is that really all it takes? Badge! So, what do you think about this? The evidence is gonna get me convicted. No, it's my attorney's badge. I was hoping it would reassure you that we're here to defend you. Evidence isn't just for the prosecution. It can help prove a person's innocence, too. That's a positive spin on things. I thought that was common knowledge. Utility knife! They carried me out and saved me. But after all that, to be killed with this blade, and the fact that the killer might be me. Now he's got me sighing too. Bombing report. Do you know anything about this piece of evidence? No. I'm sorry, I'm so useless. No, it's alright. There's no need to get all depressed. You don't know about fingerprints. Or the evacuation report. And you were... Oh. They always used to cheerfully greet me in a loud voice. And he did vocal exercise until every morning. Sometimes until he was hoarse, right? Exactly. You could always hear him, even through the wall. Hey, wait a minute. Did you know Clay? No, but likes attract, as they say. Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to check the history. There is no history. Now there's a history. No, but like attracts like, as they say. There we go. That's the actual line that was written in front of me. Alright. Tell me about the case. So, you have no memory at all of the incident. I'm so shamed. My memory of the time is as black and clouded as a dark nebula. Still, it's strange you don't remember a thing. Are you sure you didn't take one of those anti-anxiety pills like they said at the trial? It is true I developed a fear of space because of what happened 7 years ago. And I was taking medication secretly every now and then when my anxiety got bad. Having a fear of space is not something an astronaut can brag about, you know. Oh, so the so-called Hat 1 miracle? Oh, the so-called Hat 1 miracle? That must have been a terrifying experience. But I'm still an astronaut at heart, come what may. I would never take drugs that might impede my performance just before a launch. That launch meant everything to me. That's more certain than the theory of relativity. Theory of relativity. Seems like a completely different person now. This is the face of the astronaut I know. But the tranquilizers were found in your system. Yeah, see, that's the thing. But I don't know why. I'm done for. If you didn't take them, then maybe somebody slipped them to you. Exactly! That's what I thought! It must have been the real culprit. My medication was in my locker. Anyone could have gotten their hands on it. Maybe the real culprit also planted the detonator switch in your pocket. Yeah, that's gotta be it. I've been framed! I'll say, you even managed to plant your prints on the switch before slipping it in. Why would your prints be on the switch? You're wearing gloves. I guess putting them in the pocket beforehand. Sleepy. It's a real possibility. Do you remember anything else that might have been relevant? Anything at all, no matter how small. Like, about the murder weapon, for example. That knife. I think it came from one of the Space Center's utility kits. Utility kits? Yeah, staff who work on machinery a lot are given these special toolkits to use. All the technicians have them, so I doubt you could prove whose knife it is. The Hat 1 miracle. As I recall, your last trip into space was 7 years ago, right? That's right. It was a pretty rough experience. During that mission, we had all kinds of problems with the craft. You did? What kinds of problems? Power failure, oxygen leaks, busted radio, cracked windows, loose control column. Our heat shield came off as we were entering their atmosphere. The heat shield came off as we were entering the atmosphere. I thought I was a goner. But I managed to make it somehow with the popsicles and ice packs from the freezer. No wonder they dubbed it the Hat 1 miracle. It's a miracle you made it back. Space is a boundless place. That's why it continues to capture people's imaginations. But the vastness of space shows us how insignificant we are in the scheme of things. The darkness just goes on and on forever. And ever and ever. Without end. There was nobody else there. Nobody was gonna come save me. I was all alone. All alone. With nothing to listen. With nothing to listen to but the sound of my own breathing and heartbeat. I kept scrambling to make repairs, but I couldn't keep my hands from shaking. An experience like that would make anyone afraid to go up into space. Hey, tell me about space. With the experience you had, weren't you dreading this mission? What? No way! Of course not. Even now I want to go up into space so bad I can barely stand it. I want to shake off the Earth's gravity at escape velocity and spin around weightless. But you have to admit, it was pretty harrowing. Weren't you even a tiny bit afraid? I was afraid. Of course I was. Still am. But space is a man's final frontier. An unknown world. The cosmic truth is out there waiting for us somewhere. Cosmic truth, huh? I guess there are people looking for the truth in every walk of life. No matter how afraid I am, I'm sure I can manage. If I give in to my fear, I'll never find the truth. As long as I don't give up, I can keep up the fight. One thing's for sure. Mr. Starbuck's passion for space is undeniably the real deal. The victim, Clay Tarrant. He was kind of like your protege, wasn't he? Well, it wasn't a big exaggerated deal like master and apprentice or anything like that. But Clay did think of me as his mentor. The mentor and the protege. What a combination they must have been. With this encouragement, I knew I could get over my fear and go back into space. But now... Clay must have been a real They must have been very encouraging, huh? Yeah. It's funny, really. Whenever I'd hear him go, "You're fine!" I always got the feeling everything really was going to be just fine. You're fine. Apollo says I'm fine, and you're fine all the time, too. And I always feel encouraged, too, whenever I hear him shout it. Yeah, Clay and Apollo were best buds. They used to come visit the Space Center a lot, ever since they were high school kids. One day, out of the blue, Clay even told me he wanted to be my protege. Those two hung around the Space Center so much, they were like part of the staff. One time during Zero-G training, I started to panic a little bit. And the two of them took turns shouting, "You're fine," over the radio. It was a simple thing, but it was exactly what I needed to hear. So I'm fine and you're fine were like Apollo and Clay's secret phrases, huh? I wish I could ask Apollo more about Clay and their relationship now. Speaking of Clay, how do you suppose he climbed down the ladder with you over his shoulder? You over his shoulder? Sorry, but I can't even begin to imagine. But he actually did climb down that ladder, so a way has to exist. What if... Here's a weird thought. What if he made 2 trips? One with you and one with the samples. From the freedom of space to the walls of a cell. That prosecutor said the dark night sky isn't half bad through barred windows. You're fine. Solomon Soul Starbuck is fine. Everything is going to be alright. Huh? And Athena Sykes is fine. Come on, Mr. Wright. You too. Do I really have to? Phoenix Wright is fine. I can't hear you! Phoenix Wright is fine! We'll get you back into space yet, Mr. Starbuck. Believe in your own innocence. And have faith in us. Paula believed in you wholeheartedly. And that's good enough for me. I believe in you too. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. I'll put my faith in you. And I vow to make it back into space! All I need is a not guilty verdict. It sure feels nice to reassure ourselves every now and then that we're fine. Okay, Mr. Wright. Let's get our investigation of the Space Center started. Pronto! Good idea. Let's go. Alright. Let's go talk to Trucy. Badge! I guess you're presenting your attorney's badge. It's like your quick trick, huh, Daddy? Well, it's just a trick to you, huh? Well, you are one of the talents in our Write Anything agency, after all. But I have to say that an attorney's badge won't get many laughs. I don't care if I don't get any laughs, as long as I clear my client's name. That's a good one, Daddy. It's no match for you, though, Trucy. Hey, can you make this evidence disappear, please? Daddy, you should be careful about showing evidence to a magician. That's true. Make anything disappear. Well, anything to about a yard in diameter anyway. My magic panties are in extra-dimensional space. I guess only a space probe can help us figure out how they work then, huh? Badge. I want to examine the pasta. I want to examine that asshole's portrait as well. Can't believe he withheld evidence. Vital evidence for 7 years. It was 7 years, right? I'm not making that number up. I know it hasn't been that long, but still. Wow. I was wondering what kind of place this Space Center would be. It almost looks like an amusement park of the future. Yeah, did you know they even let the public see their rockets up close? Oh, so check it out. Look how brightly the YAXA logo shines in the sunlight above the entranceway. YAXA! I really dig the stars and rocket motif it's got going. YAXA, huh? Isn't that the new name of the Federal Space R&D program? Yeah, but why this strange acronym? I mean, what is GYA supposed to stand for? Galaxy? If that were it, then the whole thing would be something like Galaxy Exploration Agency. Which, if you ask me, I'd have abbreviated to GAXA, or even Gaia. I guess so. Oh, I know! Maybe the person who came up with the name just really likes the letter Y. No, don't make me think about him of all people right now. I don't want to think about people who really like the letter X, or the letter Y for that matter. This exchange is beginning to feel oddly like deja vu. Anyway, this place is more than just a research facility. It's also a tourist attraction. Tourist attraction? Don't make me laugh. It's a monument to the human race. Galactic Scooter, full speed ahead! Oh, you're old. Galactic Scooter, full speed ahead! Yikes, who's this geezer and what's he want? Look upon me and look well. Behold the great power of space science. Pardon me, but you are? My glorious name is Yuri Cosmos. I'm just starting to turn him into Fulbright. But I mean, he is a space guy. He really loves space. Look at that pose. That's a Sentai pose if I've ever seen one. Yeah, maybe superhero theme is good enough for him as well. I am the director of the Cosmos Space Center. The center of the cosmos. Boss, that was pretty groan-inducing. If this person is the Space Center's director, then that means... So you were one of the first to discover Clay's body, weren't you? Yuri Cosmos. Candace arm. Dead. That is correct! I was honored to be the very first man in all space and time to discover the body. I'm not sure that's really an honor or anything. But this talk of the incident, are you by any chance the space police? You can't tack the word space onto just any old thing, you know. We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers, his space lawyers. We're here to investigate his case. Oh, and we're Earth lawyers, by the way. Damn it, Athena! Ah, I see. Yes, I've heard about you. In that case, by my esteemed privilege, I grant you permission to investigate. I trust you are appropriately grateful. Now, go ahead! Have at it! I can already tell he's gonna be nothing but trouble. Don't let him hear you say that, or you'll see what trouble really is. Let's just be professional, and ask him about when he found the body, okay? Hey, when did you find the space body? Here's my attorney's space badge. Excuse me, but about this piece of evidence. He doesn't give a shit about my badge, even if it's a space badge. What will that object contribute to the future of mankind? What? Not much, I guess. And how important could it be? Quite unlike the great historical figure, Yuri Cosmos! If he's any more self-absorbed, he'll turn into his very own black hole. Hey look, a Kniffy. What a shame, truly. Clay was so young. He was an outstanding man who could have contributed greatly to the future of mankind. He was an exceptional man, wasn't he? If he had gone into space, my reputation would have grown even loftier. Your reputation? Why did he have to go and die before he went into space? Why did he have to go die? Why did he have to die? Yeah, why did he have to die before he went into space? There we go. Someone needs to teach him he is not the literal center of the cosmos. Yo, I just realized, this guy's got 3 power stars as buttons. Security camera. You don't care. Oxygen tanks. You don't care. Tell me about yourself. So, as director, what do you do here at the Space Center specifically? Defend peace across the galaxy and promote space development in this country. No matter what obstacles stand in our way, we keep going for the sake of mankind. I believe I used the word specifically in my question. Whoa. Attention all personnel, to your break stations. Prepare for break. Oh, I get it. You just wander around and tell people what to do in a self-important manner. That is exactly right. Because I am an important man, my manner is important. Mr. Wright, this man doesn't get sarcasm. Well, there's bound to be some people like that here in this boundlessness of space. What's that? You want to know what it is that makes me important specifically? Very well, I will tell you. I was the central figure of the Hat 1 project. You may proceed to be appropriately impressed. Now, go ahead. Have at it. I might be more impressed if I knew what he did for it specifically. Could you tell us what you know about the incidents from the other day? I refuse. What? Explaining is a job for common folk, not the director of the center of the cosmos. My testimony, which will go down in space history, will be heard in the courtroom. What? So, does that mean you'll be taking the stand tomorrow? That is correct. I will be the most glorious witness in the history of mankind. I'm not sure if he really understands what being a witness is all about. Looks like Director Cosmos is the type that only talks about what he wants to talk about. Let's at least try to ask him about the things he might be willing to open up about. I'm going to take a break here. I'm getting real hungry, and I can really, really tell. Be right back. And we're back. Oh boy. Sorry about that. I really, really needed to eat something. I rushed to cook a couple eggs, get some rice, get some furikake in there. And, yeah, that was the meal. Alright, let's see. The Hat 1 was a rocket that launched into space 7 years ago, correct? And despite numerous problems, it somehow made its way back home? I suppose that is part of my job to educate ignorant young folk like you. Very well! I will impart to you the complete story of the Hat 1 project. Oh, thank you very much. Hat 1's noble mission was to collect samples from an asteroid, and Mr. Starbuck was the pilot for that flight. Eventually, the Hat 1 reached its planned orbit. From where it launched, the Hope probe towards the asteroid belt. From there, the Hope probe began its long, lonely journey into the far reaches of space. Then, after a terrifying struggle, the Hat 1 returned safely to Earth. That struggle was when the incident known as the Hat 1 miracle occurred, correct? Right? Man, I really don't like you putting white text over a bright background. It is so hard to read. Correct. And it truly was a miracle. Of course, they just had to turn the ordeal into a movie. As for the Hope probe, it did eventually arrive safely at its destination. It obtained a few samples from the asteroid and returned to Earth but a few days ago. So, what kind of samples are they? What's in them? The samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time since they just came back the day before Terran's murder. Regrettably, we've had no time to inspect the samples due to everything that has occurred. But this puts our space development program ahead of other countries by several years. That's quite impressive. I guess this guy isn't just a loudmouth braggart after all. In the golden age of space development, our predecessors were successful in bringing a moon rock back. That is the greatest achievement in the history of this space center. The public fell in love with space and all of its glorious potential. Moon rock, huh? I remember that being big. Our endeavors with the moon rock live on in our work with those asteroid samples. Ew. With those asteroid samples. I still said stamples. I want to bestow new hopes and dreams for the future upon mankind once again. I want to bestow new hopes and dreams for the future upon mankind. I want to bestow new hopes and dreams for the future upon mankind once again. That is my mission, as the man who stands at the center of the cosmos. I hear there's lots of research into moon rocks and stardust from asteroids these days. They say the results could potentially have a huge impact on all of civilization. It's like we're in a new space race with every other country out there. What? Bite your tongue. It's not for anything so base as money or politics. It's all for the brilliant future that awaits mankind. And all for my illustrious mission. With the recent budget cuts, my staff tells me finances are tight, but I won't hear it. I guess even a space program has to watch its budget. By the way, you seem awfully knowledgeable about this kind of thing, Athena. Huh? Oh, well, you know, I thought I'd better brush up for the case. Is that so? Well, I will be on my way. As you can see, I'm a very busy and very important man. Galactic Scooter, fire up the main engine, max battle speed, and engage! That thing is surprisingly fast. I guess we'd better get going, too. You bet! Let's make it so! Set a course! Re-engage! My badge is starting to look pretty good on me, don't you think? Suits you well. I'm starting to feel like it gives me more dignity and presence, too. I think she might be expecting a little too much from one tiny little badge. Alright, well. What to do? Athena Sykes is fine! Huh? What was that all about? I thought I'd better get fired up twice as much to make up for Apollo being gone. For starters, I thought I'd imitate him. So, you were doing a voice workout, huh? Yep. You have to push your voice up from the pit of your stomach. Hold it! There's a contradicting... hold on. Ugh. There's a contradiction in the witness's statement. You're really serious about this. Objection! You are lying! The true culprit is the judge! What? Then who's going to hand down the verdict? Oh, I didn't think of that. So what do you think we should do next? Oh, that's right! What is it, Athena? I just remembered I forgot to go running today. I was so taken up with what happened to Apollo, it slipped my mind. That wasn't what I was asking. Alright, well. In we go. Yo, look at that weird seahorse thing. It's a 3D model! Welcome, Cosita, and your many, many dogs. Praying dogs. So this is where Mr. Terran was murdered. Yeah, this is the lounge. Let's see that diagram the police made again. Right now, we're in the main building here, on the right side, on the 3rd floor. Plane Mr. Starbuck fled here from Launchpad 1 after the explosion. You there! No admittance without express permission. Without express permission. There we go. We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We've come to investigate. Sorry, nobody gets in without permission. Not even the police superintendent. And I have Detective Fulbright getting mad at me. So, Detective Fulbright is here, huh? Yeah, he's in Launchpad 1 corridor. Go get clearance from him, and then we'll talk. Hello, are you liking Dual Destinies so far? Yep, I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying seeing the first half of the, not first half, seeing the starting of the trial before the actual start of the game. And now here's the follow-up. We had 2.5 cases of flashbacks. Very cool. Leave it to me. I'm great at getting intel out of Detective Fulbright. Let's see. What trick should I use on him today? I don't know if I should be grateful or afraid. So, to get to the Launchpad 1 corridor... you just have to go through that door with the blue rocket on it, I think. Wait. That door... it looks awfully familiar. Good eye there, boss. This is the door Clay and Mr. Starbuck used during their escape from the launch pad. That explains it. Fingerprint system has been deactivated, so I think we can just pass through. Now come on, let's go! Alright, let's go. Yo, look at that cleaning robot! Oh, geez. That place got really fucked up. So this is it, huh? This is the corridor the two of them used in their escape. Yep, this is the only thing connecting Launchpad 1 with the main building. I see police tape down at the other end. I guess we won't be looking at the launchpad. After the explosion, this whole corridor must have been filled with smoke. And the launchpad itself was probably a sea of flames. Must have been pretty scary for them. Now, where could Detective Fulbright be? Hey, I think that's him over there. What should I do? Which path is the path of justice? He seems to be lost. That's funny. This corridor is a straight shot. Huh? It's you lawyer people! Welcome to the Space Center! Enjoying a relaxing day off, are you? Here for a little rocket sightseeing? We're here to investigate the scene. Same as you. Do you have any info to share? Boss, if he acts all reluctant to give us information, hit him with the whatever shall we do act, and I'm sure he'll fall for it. Got it! Are we trying to catch the unruly family dog here or something? Info on the case, huh? Alright! I'll gladly share some with you. Huh? What just happened? Detectives and lawyers seeking truth and justice side by side. I like it! Just take whatever you want from me, you info bandits. I'm in a generous mood today. I don't know. There's something weird about Detective Fulbright today. Well, we need information, so let's run with it. If you say so. Present badge! Something for the lost and found? I'll be sure to take care of it. No, this is an important piece of evidence. No, you won't look at my badge. Who are you? You're not Detective Fulbright. You're not the Bobby we know and love. I think it'd be very impressive if you managed to take the entire Launchpad 1 door lock with you, Fulbright. Kniffy. The victim went to all that trouble to save the defendant. And then he was mercilessly killed. Is there no justice in this world? Justice was trampled underfoot that day. That's right. Acts of justice and selflessness are not always rewarded. It pains me to say it, but I've come to realize the truth in that recently. Sounds like he and his personal philosophy are going through a midlife crisis. Alright then. The crime scene. Detective Fulbright, could you give us permission to investigate the crime scene? There's an officer on guard and we can't get in. No, whatever shall we do? That's an easy one. I'll let them know over there to let you in. Investigate to your heart's content. Take a week if you need it, a month even. Shall I have some snacks delivered? One of my men gives a mean neck rub. No, that's okay. But thanks. Definitely not the Fulbright I know. Detective Fulbright is acting sickeningly sweet. It's kind of gross, actually. Do you think he hit his head on something? Who knows? Whatever the case, it's making our lives way easier. You were here at the Space Center at the time of the incidents, weren't you, Detective? That's right! I was here on security assignment. On a security assignment. I was filling the blanks and I was about to say security detail, and then it didn't say detail, and then, ooh boy, grammar was suddenly off. The police are required to secure a rocket launch. The police are required to secure rocket launches now? I didn't know that. Yes. Well, you know us. You know us. To serve and protect. The explosions occurred while I was here on duty, so I started leading the evacuation. He's leaving out a lot of details, but okay. Could you tell us more about what happened? Of course. A bomb went off on the second floor of the main building. Right after that, the one over in Launchpad 1 also blew sky high. So I immediately instructed the visitors and the employees to evacuate to the shelter. The shelter? That's right! There's an evacuation shelter in the basement of the Space Center. It's there for accidents and emergencies and the like. So, where were you when the first bomb went off? I was on duty in the 4th floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. The elevator wasn't working on account of the explosion, and the stairs on the 2nd floor were destroyed, so we couldn't go that way. Then wasn't it impossible to get down to the basement shelter? No. We lowered an emergency ladder from a 4th floor window and escaped that way. It was a folding ladder, so it wasn't very stable, but at least it reached the ground. After I secured the ladder, I left to take another look for any other survivors. Survivors? Visitors? Survivors. Once everyone else got out safely, I made my way down too and headed to the shelter. Wow, what an ordeal. But climbing down an emergency ladder sounds kind of fun. Sounds fun. Thank you for your answers, Detective. They were very helpful. Just a moment! I have some more information to share with you. But don't tell Prosecutor Blackwell, okay? Ow, and Prosecutor Blackwell usually has you on a short leash, too. Well, never mind that. I thought you should know that there was a witness. Could you tell us more about this witness? Sure thing. The witness was a Space Center employee who was on the 4th floor. While she was climbing down, she looked through a window into the 3rd floor lounge. So, she was looking into the crime scene from the outside? That's right! It was just a matter of chance that she saw something important. Not that I know what she saw exactly yet. though. You don't? But that's the most important thing of all. Don't you worry, I'll get around to interviewing her soon enough. She should still be somewhere here in the Space Center. You might even run into her. A 4th floor employee, huh? Alright. Thanks for the info, Detective Fulbright. Gee, you sure are being cooperative, Detective. A little too cooperative, even. Yes, well, actually, Something you can't talk about? Yes, something like that. Anyway, never mind. Don't worry about me. Well, I'll be on my way now. What was that all about? Something is definitely going on. I'm gonna get it out of him next time I see him. Okay. I'm not so sure he'll talk about it, though. Well, we have permission to investigate now. Let's head back to the boarding lounge. But I want to talk to the cool robot! He's vacuuming! Alright. Police officer guy, how's it going? Also, I just noticed that thing that's spinning up there is a chair to get used to, I'm assuming, rapid changes in your, not, the word I'm looking for is not position. Oh well. In your angle, sure. Also, that thing is cracked and it has a shiny little bladed thing coming out of it. Ah, you two. Detective Fulbright has granted you permission to investigate. He also said I should bring you some snacks or give you a neck rub too, if you'd like. Oh, that's alright, but thank you for the offer. Well, time to roll up our sleeves and start investigating. Now, let's see. There's that diagram again. So this lounge is on the 3rd floor of the main building. And according to Apollo, this is where he believes a third party killed his friend. Well, let's stop the recap and start looking for traces of this third person then. You read my mind, Athena. We'll make that our first priority. There's just one problem, though. This room... it's just so big. Don't worry, we can use this to help us. A Space Center pamphlet? For tourists? Yep, picked it up at the entrance. And the maps inside should come in handy. Let's see... Yep, here it is. A map of the lounge. This is the door we went through to talk to Detective Fulbright. Oh yeah, it's the door with the fingerprint recognition lock. Well, I guess this map will make things a little easier. Yeah, no more excuses. Let's track down the third person. Wait, there's just one more thing. What's that strange creature moving around outside the window? Oh, boss, it's just a holographic image. Oh, yeah, I knew that. Whew, that's a relief. There should be a button somewhere in this room to turn the image on and off. That's what it says on the pamphlet anyway. The only reason you're so eager to start is so you can push that button, isn't it? And what's wrong with that? Let's just look for the button while we're looking for clues. Alright, fine. Let's get investigating. No matter how I look at it, all I can think of is torture device. But I guess it's a training device for getting used to zero gravity? Uh-oh. Athena has an odd glint in her eye. Is she thinking about trying that thing out? I should try to stop her, but I'm afraid she'll just outmuscle me. Hey, Mr. Wright! Look at that up there! Some kind of fragment? It's stuck in tight. Oh, so that's what that glint was all about. That color looks familiar. I think it's part of an oxygen tank. I think you're right. But if that's here, it means Clay's tank ruptured after they arrived at the boarding lounge. So Prosecutor Blackwell's theory that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay down the ladder must be wrong. This proves that both of the astronauts were alive when they reached the boarding lounge. So, Apollo was right. The scene of the murder wasn't the launch pad. Way to go, Apollo! And, I'm sorry about this, but people came home with a boatload of groceries from Costco, so I need to go help them out for a moment. Be right back.